Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the Bass Blaster, and this is your Seafoam Top 5 of the week in bass fishing. Number 1. Yo, Adrian! I did it! Rocky means, yo, Adrian did it. Big congrats to New Jersey's Adrian Avena for the big-time, big league win on the Bass Pro Tour. That makes him, I believe, only the second New Jersey angler to ever win a tour-level event. The other one, of course, being Mike Iaconelli. Adrian won the Smallmouth Smash Fest on Cayuga Lake, New York, where 4 and 5 pound fish were average. You really needed to find a 6 or 2 or 3 to move up the ladder and win the thing. That meant finding 6 pound fish that the other guys didn't, a field full of hammers, and that often meant finding fish deeper, which meant using a flogger, which we'll get to in a minute. Adrian fished a chartreuse Berkeley gulp minnow, and of course smallmouths loved chartreuse and they also loved gulp, on a Ned head and also on a drop shot with a really short leader. He said the new Abu Garcia Revo Rocket spinning reel was key to catching up to those fish fast, which is real important when you're using a flogger by yourself. Huge congrats to him. Let's talk flogging. What is a flogger? No, it's not that. Yep, it's that. The black traffic cone looking thing. So what that is basically a way to see more clearly deeper into the water, and guys fishing smallmouth tournaments use them quite a bit when it's spawning time for that exact reason, because smallmouths typically spawn pretty darn deep. Here's Bass Pro Tour angler Gerald Spohr talking about why and how to use one.
Because these fish get over the top of these white shell areas and the color of their body actually changes, and they start to kind of conform to that bright white zebra mussel bed or shell bed that they're making a bed on. So if you see a bright white spot, you take this, even though the bed might only be in 4 foot of water, and I swear the fish looks invisible on it, but if you take this and you hang it over the side and you stick it in the water, you don't have to stick it very far, just enough to break the surface, and you can see that there's a fish sitting on that bed.
Now, they're not that easy to use by yourself with all that being on your knees and bending out over the water, and they really just make the fish more seeable. It's not like some magic thing and bang, there they are. And like everything else in fishing, it's really just part of a technique that takes time to master, especially if you're doing it by yourself. So would you flog?
Maybe. I don't know, maybe I will.
Number 3. The mope won again. After Jeff Gustafson won the Bassmaster Classic this year doing what he calls moping, a soft swim bait down deep, everyone went out and started tight lining, dead sticking, and swimming a Z-Man scented jerk shads to fish down deep or suspended fish. In fact, Jason Christie did something real similar to that in his win of the prior classic. So maybe it's not such a surprise to see another moping or Demiki rig win, but on Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma in June? Well, that's what Alabama's Joey Nanina did to win it this weekend. He did it with a different Z-Man setup than Gussie. It was a 3/16 ounce Z-Man Finesse Eyes jig head with a 3.75 Z-Man Streaks soft jerkbait. Joey's fished that rig for years, and this year he said he's caught about 75% of his fish on it, and yep, he's using forward-facing sonar, and 90% of the time he's watching him eat that bait. Will we be seeing more and more top finishes with finesse gear and baits? Seems like it. Number 4. Are heavy soft plastics a thing?
Because I'm fat, fat, fat. Come on, fat. You know I'm fat, fat.
Yeah, okay, Al, you're fat, but I'm talking heavy, like Konishiki heavy. Okay, not that heavy, but for sure heavier than normal soft plastic baits. Recently, I got to fish the kind of new Yamamoto Yamatanuki, and I was really kind of blown away by this whole heavy soft plastics thing. Here's tournament fisherman and Yamamoto headman Crispin Pally talking about it.
The Yamatanuki is a grub of sorts. It's a very dense plastic. This particular one is 3.5 inches long. And it started a bit of a craze in Japan. It's largely responsible for a genre of baits that I don't even know what you would call, but there are several offerings by Japanese manufacturers here in the United States these days. We've been told time and time again, and finally, after being hard-headed for a while, we've decided to listen, that it was time to bring this Japanese bait to the States for availability.
Okay, now here's Bass Pro Tour angler Cody Meyer talking about why and how he likes to fish it.
This is a heavy stick bait, 5/8 of an ounce. We got some great colors, as always, from Yamamoto. Tons of salt in this bait. Again, this is gonna have the perfect presentation going down. It's gonna sink fast, horizontally, and you got this really cool tail, which separates it from other baits. You're gonna have some twitch, a lot of action on there. I like to throw it out there in that heavy rock, maybe grass or wood. It's gonna come over that stuff, really cool. Not gonna hang up, get a ton of bites. Brand new from Yamamoto, excited about it. Check it out, the Yamatanuki.
And one more good one from Bass Pro Tour fisherman Fletch Shryock.
It didn't take me very long to figure out that I could skip this bait better than a jig, better than a Senko, better than any other bait in my arsenal.
That should get your wheels turning. Now there's other Japanese heavy soft plastics like the Depths Cover Scat, but I believe the Yamatanuki, or the Nuki as it's kind of called, has already gotten the most interest. Of course, you have the great Yamamoto colors. I fished the brown and purple one, or the purple and brown one, in a lake with 20-foot visibility that gives up no bites in stingy as heck New Jersey, and I had a great day. I actually caught some fish. So don't listen to me, listen to Cody, listen to Fletch. Try them, you might like them. Number 5. Man, there's been a lot of chatter about cheating, or at least rule bending, in tournament fishing. I've heard from a lot of folks about it, from the pro level on down, and man, if even half of what they're saying is true, it's pretty disturbing. So after thinking about it and talking to some folks about it, here's my proposal to the leagues, bass and Major League Fishing, about maybe what to do to stop at least the worst of the alleged cheating going on. I'm gonna run these down real quick. First,
just turn your damn cell phone off.
Yep, no cell phones on in boats. It doesn't make sense. Like my daughter said, it's like having your phone on when you're taking a test in school. No brainer. Second,
this is a simple lie detector. I'll ask you a few yes or no questions and you just answer truthfully. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yep, of course, polygraph the winner and maybe the runner-up and maybe other people, and do it thoroughly. According to polygraph peeps, that thoroughly part is pretty key. Third,
but we're in trouble. Even more than when we were literally in the game. Trouble.
Yep, consequences for all poly fails or other fails according to some set schedule, like tiers of violations, you know, running a no-wake zone versus getting waypoints from somebody else. And then also number of violations leading to an outcome. First offense, second offense, on down the line to maybe a lifetime ban. Fourth, make it all public. Listen, if rule violations aren't found, they aren't punished, and they aren't made public, then why have rules? Are they just for the honest suckers who play by those rules? I mean, if you don't enforce the rules and you don't make the violations of those rules public, isn't everybody just basically being told you are permitted to cheat? Just don't get caught on your own. Not good, man. All right, lastly, give everybody fair warning. So like Bass and Major League Fishing, for example, could tell all their competitors that in 2024, all the things I just said are going to be in place. And that would give guys the ability to either adjust what they're doing or maybe just not pay their deposits. That's all I got time for on this one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And here's a great applicable tune off Van Halen's Fair Warning album for you. That's all I got for you this week. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Seafoam. Go to BassBlaster.com or .rocks to sign up for the juicy Bass Blaster email. See you next week. God bless you.